Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about print-on-demand everything. So if that is something that you're interested in, please hit like and subscribe and stick around. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can create this design right here. This is a really simple one, just combining different graphics, and this is for Chinese New Year. So if you'd like to learn a little bit about how to do this and about this niche, go ahead and stick around. Okay, so I am on Canva's home page. I'm going to be creating a design for Chinese New Year. So let's say we're creating a t-shirt. I'm going to go to custom size. I'm going to be putting in 4500 by 5400 pixels. So that is the size that I use when I'm designing for t-shirts. I do like to design for the darker color t-shirts. Black, dark heather gray, and navy blue are going to be your top selling colors. So it's always a good idea to optimize for those darker colors, unless of course you're doing a specific design that's meant to be on some other color. So I'm going to start with my black background. And so from here, we're going to be creating a Chinese New Year design. And so one thing we can do is just go up to the top where it says elements, and we can type in Chinese New Year and see what comes up. And boom, it's going to give you lots of different fun Chinese New Year graphics. Now this year is the year of the dragon, so you can see there's lots of fun dragon style designs that are pretty awesome. And so we can do something relatively simple and just start combining some of these graphics to make something that looks cool. So for example, let's say I wanted to add a little bit of a border. So let's say I'm going to put a border here. I'm going to hit Control D. I'm going to just flip this horizontal. And boom, I can put a border there just like that. And so this is one way that I can do it. I can hit Control D again. I can flip vertically this time, and I can bring this down here. And then one more time, Control D, flip horizontally, and bring this over here. And so that looks pretty cool. Not super fond of that little gap there. So what I might actually do is just use my arrow keys to bring that in just a smidge to get rid of that gap. And to make sure everything's lined up, I can use my rulers and guides to make sure everything looks like it's lined up really nicely there. So that looks pretty cool. And then I do want a dragon, and I do like this dragon. There's lots of really cool dragons that I like. So we're going to pick a dragon. That one looks really cool. There's a whole bunch of them here under magic recommendations. This is going to be a real fast, easy design. So I'm going to put my dragon sort of right here. I may want a couple of things hanging down. So the fireworks might look good, or the little lantern might look good, and you can try either one. So let's see if I did something like the little fireworks hanging here, how that might look, versus if I did something maybe more like this, and see sort of how that looks. Something there. And so there's all sorts of ones. There's some longer ones which might look cool. And so some of this is just playing around and seeing what looks good. So when we find something that looks good, something like that's pretty nice. And then I'm going to put in obviously some text. So it's going to be 2024 year of the dragon. So let's just pull up a text box here and type 2024. And I'm going to go ahead and make that a red color for now so that I can see it. And I do want to make sure that all the colors are going to kind of match and go together. And so you can sort of pick your scheme, your color scheme, but you can see a lot of it's going to be sort of that red and gold. So I do like the red and gold. So it's going to say 2024, pull up one more text box. Oops. One more text box here just by hitting T on your keyboard. And for this one, I'm going to put year of the dragon. And I'm going to have that come out nice and wide. And I'm going to put that down here under the 2024. So it's going to go something in there. So let's pick some fonts. So there was two fonts that I really liked. One of them I know I did get off of Creative Fabrica. The other one I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out if it was one I got off Creative Fabrica. But the first one I want to use, which is really cool, and I've used it a lot in the past, and this one is, perfectly named for this year is actually Chinese Dragon. Yes, that is the name of the font. Chinese Dragon Regular right there. And so that is a really cool font. And so I like that. Then the other font that I wanted to use is actually right down here, Z-Cool Zaiwei. Right there, Year of the Dragon. And so that's pretty cool. I might go ahead and make that all caps there. I did like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the Year of the Dragon here. I'm going to make it a nice gold color, and I'm going to be going with the golden color that you see here, something like that. And for the red, I'm going to go ahead and do effects, and I'm going to put an outline around it, and I am going to do that gold outline again. And since I can't quite remember which color gold I just went with, I'm just going to do that. So far, so good. 2024, Year of the Dragon. Looks kind of nice. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. You can use the arrows on your keyboard, by the way, to move any element that you like, and it'll just move it 1 pixel at a time if you want to make some really fine micro adjustments. And so that is one way that you can always do that. And so far, this is looking pretty good. I think I'm going to make these more of that red color, though. So let's go ahead and select a red color. Something like that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to change all of these to that red color, which I think is this one, but just to be sure. When I've got too many different shades, I want to make sure I'm getting all the same shade. So this one is that shade, and this one is that shade. So there, I've got some cool golds. Does this change? Yes, so I can change some of these shades too. So at least the red, I want to be that same bright red. And the red on this one, I want to be that same bright red. I like the gold. Let's make sure that that gold is the same color as the other gold, which I think it is. And make sure the golds are both the same color. Nice. I might want to take, well, the dark is pretty good. This one's supposed to be a little bit lighter. Let me take that and just make sure it's a little bit lighter so that I can actually see those highlights. So I might even want to just go with something like some tan for the highlights. Might actually look good. Take that one and make that one the tan color too. And so there, so now I've kind of brought all of those colors together. So it all kind of matches. Pretty easy to do. Obviously, all I did was take a bunch of graphics and, you know, combine them together. Now what I can do if I want to is just highlight the whole thing. So I just do a little left click in the corner and drag over everything. That groups it all together. So from there, what I can do then is go ahead and resize it and make sure that it's centered in the page perfectly. And so something like that looks pretty cool. So there's my 2024 Year of the Dragon design, just by adding a bunch of elements together. So really simple, but you can make a ton of these by just looking through the elements, adding a bunch of them together. And, you know, Chinese New Year is one that sells a lot of shirts every year. So every year there is, you know, obviously a different animal. And so this year it is the dragon. And in case you're curious, this year it is on February 10th. So Chinese New Year is coming up on February 10th this year. So you want to get all of your designs up at least a month in advance, if not 2, which would be now. So there you go. If you have any questions on this, please drop it in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I hope you guys are doing really well on your sales, and I do hope to see you guys again next time. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.